What's happening right now is like every realtor's worst nightmare. Alright, so I just got a call from some good friends of mine, a husband and a wife. We've all known each other for years. Me and the husband were actually in a band together for a number of years. I played bass guitar, he played the drums, and our band actually won several Battle of the Bands competitions. And we even made it on the radio here in Nashville.
Blizz with Sacrifice, a resounding smash. Good job, boys.
So we've got a history. They just called me and said that an opportunity has come up for them to purchase his childhood home. They're getting first shot at it at a great price, but in order to buy that home, they have to sell their current home. So I'm on my way there right now. They're gonna give me the tour. I'm gonna see what kind of condition it's in, and that'll give me a better idea of what to price it at, but we're already thinking it's probably gonna be somewhere in the 240 range. They've already told me that it's gonna take them a few days to get it market ready, so while I'm there, I'm gonna go ahead and put my coming soon sign in the yard, put my lockbox on the front door. I already know it's a really nice home in a great location in Hendersonville, so once it does hit the market, it's not gonna last long. All right, it's the next day, and while my clients are getting their house ready, we're gonna go ahead and send an offer on the new place. And typically I would make the sale and the purchase two separate videos, but there's so little to it. They know the house inside and out, so there's no need to do a showing, and they're getting first shot at it with no competition. So it's pretty much a guaranteed deal, and there's just not enough to it to justify its own video. So I'm just gonna include that deal in this video. I'm writing up the offer right now, and then I'll send it to my clients to sign. And once they've signed it, I'll send it off to the listing agent. It's pretty much guaranteed to get accepted. So here in a few days, my client's current house will be ready to hit the market. So my clients just let me know that the house is ready, and because we're in a bit of a time crunch, I'm just gonna go ahead and take the pictures myself on this one. A few days back, while they were getting the house ready, I went ahead and uploaded it to the MLS as a coming soon, and since then I've had multiple agents reach out wanting to do showings. So once it does go live on the market, it's gonna be busy. It's later in the day. We've had multiple showings today, and we've already had a few offers come in the door. So we listed at $239,900, and our best offer so far is for $245,000, not asking my clients for any closing cost or anything. And you know, we're thinking we could leave it on the market for a few more days and see what else comes in the door, but this offer would give us everything we need and then some. Plus my clients have a brand new baby and pets, and it's just a bit of a struggle for them to leave every time there's a showing. So all things considered, it looks like we're just gonna go ahead and accept this offer and shut it down on day one. All right, it's the next day, and the offer that we sent in on the home that my clients are gonna buy, that offer was accepted. So I instructed my clients within the next few days, they need to mail their earnest money to that listing agent's office. And I emailed that accepted offer to my client's lender and to the title place where we'll be closing. I went ahead and scheduled an inspection for that home, which I volunteered to pay for. So we should be getting that report back here in the next few days. Now on my client's current home, we went ahead and accepted that offer for $245,000. So their home is officially under contract after only a matter of hours on the market, and those buyers are scheduling their inspection right now. So here in a few days, when they get that inspection report back, we'll see what they're going to ask my clients to repair, and we'll go from there. The buyers are having their inspection today, and typically I wouldn't go to the other side's inspection, but my client's going to be home alone with her baby, and I don't know this inspector. My client doesn't know this guy. I'm sure the inspector's a great guy and totally professional and everything, but ultimately it is a stranger coming into the house. So just to err on the side of caution, I'm going to show up, introduce myself, just make my presence known, and be sure we're not getting any creepy vibes off this guy or anything like that. And I'm sure my client is fully capable of kicking ass if she needed to, but it's always good to have backup just in case. My client's safety is my #1 priority. So I'm gonna go hang out for a little bit during the inspection and just make sure she's all good. All right, it's a few days later, and we had our inspection on the home that my clients are going to buy. I'm looking over that inspection report right now, and all of it seems like pretty minor stuff, except one major thing, which is the roof. The roof on this place is shot. However, we've already made a deal with the seller. After closing, he's agreed to have a new roof put on. And like I said, everything else is pretty minor. It's stuff that my clients can handle on their own. So we're not going to ask for any repairs on this one, especially considering this home could probably sell for $30,000 more than my clients have it under contract for. So they're already getting a huge discount. And because of that, we're not really in a position to ask for a whole lot of repairs. So we're just going to accept it as is. Now, the buyers of my client's current home also had their inspection, and typically the buyers don't send the sellers the full inspection report. How it works is the buyers look over that report and then they fill out a repair replace proposal, which is exactly what it sounds like. It's a form where the buyers write out the list of repairs that they're proposing the sellers make. And I'm looking over that form right now and I'm blurring it out, but as you can see, it's a long list of repairs, most of which are pretty minor. So I've talked to my clients and they've agreed to make 4 or 5 repairs on this list. And for everything else, we're just going to offer the buyers $500 in credit, which if they agree to that, my clients will be getting out pretty cheap because the rest of the items on this list would likely cost more than $500. So I'm writing up our counter proposal right now, listing the repairs that my clients are willing to make, along with the $500 in credit. And so after that's written up, I'll send it to my clients to sign, and then I'll send it to the buyer's agent. And if the buyers agree to our counter proposal, then we'll write all that up on a repair replace amendment, which is the final document that lists all the repairs that everybody's agreed upon. So both the buyers and the sellers sign that amendment. And then once everybody signs that amendment, the sellers have until closing or a day before to make all those repairs. It's a couple weeks later and we had the appraisal on my client's new house, and it did appraise like we knew it would, considering it's like $30,000 underpriced. And the buyers also had their appraisal on my client's current house, and it appraised as well for exactly what we have it under contract for. However, I just had this conversation with the buyer's agent.
I just wanted to call you because I got a call from the loan officer, and they will have to resubmit their file to underwriting on Monday.
So did like something go wrong, or?
He's self-employed, and you know that they request more items. But actually, we can extend until next Friday, and if they can get it together before, they will let you know.
They're thinking it's going to be on her before the 13th.
Yeah.
So is there no possible way that it's closing Friday?
No.
So basically she said that her buyer's lender is requesting a closing date extension for like a week past our original closing date. She said it's because the lender has to request more documents from the buyer, which doesn't really make a whole lot of sense because at this point in the deal, the lender should have all of that info. So to me, something's not sitting right, and I have a feeling we're not getting the full story here. So I called the buyer's lender multiple times and no answer, of course. And I even tried calling several other people in that lender's office, including the office manager, and none of them answered the phone. So all I could do is leave messages and haven't heard anything back yet. So that's kind of where we are. And I guess if for some reason they can't close it any sooner, then we don't really have much of a choice but to wait. I can't believe the phone call I just got. What's happening right now is like every realtor's worst nightmare. Roll the clip.
I just got a call from the loan officer, and she's telling me that they will get a denial letter for the loan. He got a truck.
No.
Appear on his credit report in our home, so she's thinking it won't go through. I have used this lender since 2013, and this is the first loan that I get denied. I don't have the letter yet. She just called me and told me so I can give you heads up. I wanted to call you right now because I know your people are waiting on us, so I don't want to delay things anymore.
Apparently, this buyer just went out and bought a truck. Buying a vehicle during a real estate deal is like the biggest no-no you can do. That totally screws up the deal, and there's almost no way to recover from that. Essentially, this deal just fell apart, and we're already a week past our original closing date. I knew there was something not right about the info I was getting from that buyer's agent and what the lender was communicating to her, and apparently this is what it was. Now I have to call my clients, our lender, the title place, and the listing agent for the home that my clients are buying and tell all of them that this deal just fell apart and we're gonna have to start over all the way from square one. Yesterday, I let everybody know what was going on, that the deal fell apart. Everybody was pretty bummed out, but the good news is if we can find a new buyer pretty quickly, then everybody's reluctantly willing to wait another month. So I wasted no time this morning trying to find a new buyer. I called the other agents who submitted an offer, and unfortunately, all their clients had already found something else, understandably considering that was over a month ago. But then I remembered that the last couple weeks, I've been working with some first-time home buyers who have been looking for something in the Hendersonville area. And the last couple weeks, I've showed them a few houses, none of which panned out. So I sent them a link to this place and said, hey, just letting you know this deal just fell apart. And if you're interested in this home, then I'll give you first shot at it with no competition. Otherwise, we're just going to have to put it back on the market. And they replied and said that they actually love this house and they saw it pop up about a month ago before I was working with them, and said that they really loved it and they wish they could have gotten it, but they weren't working with a realtor at the time and just couldn't get it together in time to send an offer before it went under contract. So I told them, here's your shot at it. Here's your second chance. Let's schedule a showing tonight and go see it in person. So hopefully these buyers like it in person and want to send an offer. And if so, then there's a high probability we can get this home back under contract without having to put it back on the market and doing a ton of showings and all that, and quickly get another deal going. In less than 48 hours after the first deal fell apart, I found new buyers, showed them the house. They submitted an offer that's pretty much identical to the first offer we accepted, and we're now officially back under contract, and this chain of deals is saved, at least for now. So this is a bit of a unique situation because I can't represent both sides of the deal. So I'm representing the sellers. They're my clients. When you're working with an unrepresented party in a deal, you have to have them sign some sort of disclaimer form. Here it's called working with a real estate professional. So I had the buyers sign that form, and then I helped them write up an offer, which I then submitted to my clients, the sellers, and they accepted the offer. So now that we're back under contract, these buyers are going to have their own inspection, and we'll go through that process again of what they're going to ask my sellers to fix and that whole deal. And since I kind of have control of both sides of this deal, it's guaranteed to go a lot smoother than the last one. The buyers had their inspection, but before we get into that, something that I meant to mention in my last update is because these buyers are unrepresented, there's not another agent on the other side of the deal to split the commission with, which means that I get to keep the commission for both the sellers and the buyer's side, which is fair because I'm basically doing the work of two different agents, and I would much rather be handling both sides of the deal anyway. Now, I already made a deal with the sellers to lower my commission from 6% to 5% for various reasons not worth getting into, but that's still 2% more than I would typically get, so I'm definitely not complaining. So I'm looking over this inspection report, and a lot of it is the same stuff that came up on the last buyer's inspection. Pretty much all of it's just minor stuff, like just regular maintenance type stuff. So what we offered the last buyers was for my clients to fix like 5 or 6 of just the little things and then offer the buyers $500 in credit. Now, for these buyers, I want to give them a little bit better deal. They're first-time home buyers. They barely know what's going on, and they're kind of at my mercy. So I want to make sure they get a good deal and make sure that they're not getting the short end of the stick. So what I'm going to do is lower my commission from 5% to 4.75, which is a difference of a little over $600. And basically, I'm going to offer that to these buyers. You know, I wanted to give them a little something extra, but I also didn't want it to come out of my seller's pocket. And so what the deal is going to be is my clients, the sellers, are going to offer to fix 5 or 6 little things, and we're going to offer these buyers $1,200 in credit as opposed to the $500 from the last buyers. So basically, I'm contributing the difference out of my commission. And in this market, it's pretty rare for the sellers to offer any repairs whatsoever, much less over $1,000 in repairs. So I think that way everybody's happy, everybody's getting a good deal, and I've run it by everybody verbally, everybody's cool with it. So I'm going to go ahead and write that up on a repair amendment, have everybody sign it, and then that part of the deal will be done. So the next major step after that is the appraisal, which we've already had an appraisal on this house and it appraised just fine. And then shortly after that, assuming nothing messes up between now and then we should be closing. The buyers had their appraisal and the home did appraise for the second time. And I definitely called these buyers' lender just to verify that they also didn't go out and buy a car last minute or something. And their lender confirmed that the file looks great and we should definitely be able to close. This one's been a doozy, but we're almost to the finish line. today, my office let me know that my check was ready, so I just went and picked it up, took it to the bank to cash it so I can show you guys. Now, this deal was a little unique. I represented the sellers and the buyers were unrepresented. Now, of course, I helped them with the paperwork. I explained the terminology, explained the process to them, and helped them seal the deal. But on paper, those buyers were unrepresented. So, because there was no agent on the other side to split the commission with, I get to keep 100% of the commission. Now, I did lower my commission to 4.75% in order to give the buyers a little bit more towards the repairs that were needed, and it also saved my sellers some money, so it was a win-win for everybody. The total sales price on this place was $245,000. My total commission on this one was 4.75%, which totals $11,637.50. And then my office takes out their 20%. So my total take home on this one is $9,310. I just went and picked up my check from my client's purchase of their new home. The final sales price on that home is $280,000. I got the typical 3% commission, which totals $8,400, and then my office takes out their 20%. So my total take home on that one is $6,720. So my combined total take home from my client's sale of their old home to the unrepresented buyers, which totaled $9,310, plus the purchase of their new home, which totals $6,720. My total combined take home for this chain of deals is $16,030. Everybody's happy, and that's what's most important at the end of a deal. And in fact, the buyers, who technically weren't even my clients, wrote me a thank you card thanking me for all my help throughout the process, for helping them find their dream home, thanking me for all my hard work. And at the end of the day, this is really what it's all about. It's things like this letter that remind you how much of an impact you have on people's lives throughout these deals. Thank you guys. And on that note, I'm gonna go make a deposit. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.